One of the best ways to quit all of your bad habits and actually get real happiness in life is by following God. And everyone knows this. That's why everybody follows God. But then why isn't everybody happy? Because, and you might not even realize it, most of us say we follow God when in reality we are as far away from God as possible. And I've experienced this so many times in my life that I've learned how to actually put God first. One of the most important things. And this all starts with December 2023. For you, December 2023 might have been Christmas or New Year's, but for me, it was absolute hell. I had been in self-improvement for a year. I didn't see the progress that I wanted to make, and I was on the verge of quitting. I was the furthest away from God because all I focused on was dopamine. And having never seen any results in that 1 year, I decided I wanted results instantly. So I resulted to going back to instant gratification. That meant that I went back to scrolling, I went back to porn, I went back to all of it. After 1 year in self-improvement, because I didn't realize the importance of putting God first. A lot of people that believe that you have to put your health first, or you have to put your family first, or you have to put balance first, or if you have to put money first. You always have to put God first. Because if you do that, everything you want will come to you in ways you'll never even imagine. And so back to December, I was the furthest from God ever when on New Year's, and this pains me to say it, I said that on New Year's, I would never fap once in 2024. And I was 100% sure. I was like, you know, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be like the new start of my self-improvement journey. I'm gonna be reborn. I'm gonna be just absolutely pumping. And so that day comes where it's finally New Year's. And I decided, well, you know what? I've promised myself I'm not gonna fap. I'm not gonna do any of that. And so, you know what? Why not make the most of 2023 and, you know, fap as much as I wanted? Because, you know, why not make the most of it if I'm never gonna fap ever again? And so it was, I think, around 11 p.m. when I got into my bed and I just opened up Google and I went to it. And for an hour straight, non-stop, over and over and over. And I still remember how horrible it felt, but I kept going because I wanted to make the most of it. And when I'm done for the fourth or fifth time, as I'm cleaning myself up and my phone turns black, when I turn it back on, I see that it was 12:07. I was so invested in making the most of, you know, fapping or anything like that, that I had gone over New Year's. I had started my New Year's fapping. The first second of my New Year's was ruined. And that fucked me up. That made me realize how horrible my mindset was. And that is what led to me following God after I got my first Bible. And I decided I was going to actually invest time in God. And that plays into today's video's topic, which is, how do you actually put God first? The most important way you can put God first is reflection. If you do not reflect on your actions, it will mean nothing. Because you could be an absolute angel. You could be perfect one day. And then the next day, if you're not grateful for that other day and you don't carry the momentum, you can ruin it all and be back at the start. So when you do bad actions, I want you to reflect on it. And I want you to realize this is not what God wants. If you always think and follow what God wants, then everything you want will come to you and everything you don't want will stay away from you. And the best example of this for me was I had a big issue with putting things on God. If you're a teenager, you probably know everyone says, put it on God, swear on your life, swear on God, all of that. And that was my biggest issue because I always said I was gonna stop doing it. I always said I was gonna quit because it's wrong. You don't want to put things on God, even if you're right. You should never put anything on anyone's life. You should never swear. And so I decided I was going to stop doing that myself. But every single day, even though I said I was going to stop, I kept doing it. I kept listening to my friend after saying, put on God, and I would do it. And that was when one day, when my friend said it, I went, I'm not gonna say it, I don't put things on God. And he thought I was lying, of course. He thought that whatever the topic was about, I forgot now, he thought I was lying about it, and that's why I didn't want to do it. But then again and again, I kept repeating, I don't put things on God, I don't put things on anything. And slowly, as I kept repeating that to myself, it became the truth. Whatever you repeat to yourself, whatever you reflect on, it will be breathed into existence. I repeated it so much that subconsciously I just stopped doing it. And instead of saying I swear or anything like that, I just say I promise. And that leads to me going on a more deeper topic, because that's not the only way that people lose to God and are distant from God, is lust. It's not drugs, it's not alcohol, but it's lust. Lust is the number one enemy, because it is so hard to quit, because everyone normalizes it as being normal. Everyone says that it's a part of life. It shows that you're of this world. But as Jesus says in the Bible, you are not from this world, and the world is ruled by Satan. I want you to realize that the world is ruled by Satan. If you look around you in the modern world, is there one example you can find of the world not being ruled by Satan? There's rebellion, there's pride, there's Satanism, there's lust everywhere. There is nothing in the world which belongs to God. And that is why if you really want to follow God, you have to realize that you are not from this world, but you are chosen of it. You are chosen to carry God's name and follow His word. So, if you want to put God first, you have to realize that you will never fit in. If you look around you, if you really try to make the most of your time on earth, if you say YOLO, you only live once, all of that, and you go do some crazy stuff, what do you think is gonna happen? You're gonna start sinning. You're gonna start lusting. You're gonna keep fapping, keep watching porn, keep having women as the only thought on your mind. And if you really want to stop that and grow to be the good person that God wants you to be, I want you to reflect on your actions. And I want you to always remember when you do things wrong and try to do right instead. Even if you do wrong things, even if you make mistakes, I want you to ask Jesus for forgiveness and grow from that. Fix those mistakes. There is a rule that I live by, and it's not from something I read, but it's something that I've lived. And that is, there is no such thing as a failure. There's no such thing as mistakes if you learn from them. It is all part of the process. The only thing that counts as a failure is if you do something wrong and you don't learn from it. So I'm going to leave you with that thought for today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And always remember, God's watching you and He loves you.